How the post-COVID consumer could be defined in terms of a psychological approach. I would say that we'll start identifying the new consumer, defined as a person that is look for a human connection. Is look for human connection because he still has fear of physical interaction. So he stopped to touch a person, he stopped to shake hands, other hands, he stopped to hug people. So at the end, he loses happiness. And I would say that is a stressed consumer, is a stressed person. Why this? Well, because he is experiencing the prison mood. He's stressed because he is feeling the uncertainty situation. And so he's look for a new reliability, he's look for a new confidence. And again, is look, I would say, to preserve himself. Our consumer, our post-COVID consumer, is agreed to spend 6,000% more price to buy disinfectant product. Or it's funny, this data, because it's not due to physiological needs, but is due to something more related to the mental process. And if we look to this data, so if we look to minus 30% sales about champagne and sparkling, we stress this situation. So we stress the way in which our consumer is looking to find more, to look at basic good, to look at the basic need. So something that is not too basic could be at this time skipped, like the consumption of champagne and sparkling. And so we can say, of course, that our consumer, our post-COVID consumer is emotive, or probably is more emotive than before. Kahneman, that reached a Nobel Prize in economy, say that up to 95% of daily decisions are determined by emotional mechanisms. That are the mechanisms based on intuition, based on involuntary control, based on speed. So it's something that happens in automatic way and without our awareness about what is going on in our brain. And so we can say that probably in this situation, the post-COVID consumer is more irrational than before. Why? Because he's experienced something, a situation that is an extraordinary situation. Is in psychology is defined as the black swan, so a situation that happen very few times in our life, and is a situation about that are totally new, so we are not able to manage it in a rational way. And so what we are going to suggest is, of course, that is necessary to adopt what we say the small data driven approach. So it means that we have to understand what is important to our consumer, not, for example, just asking them what is important for you, but using, for example, what Stefano said before, the neuroscience or the consumer psychology. And in particular, it's possible to use the psychological approach to even to speak with our consumer. For example, Richard Thaler, in his book that is named Nudge, say us that there are different ways to even orient the behavior of our consumer. Like, for example, in this case, this is some example about how we can orient the decision making and the behavior of our consumer. Are just some examples.
So everyone is wondering which is the store of the future. Is a pickup store? Is a entertainment store? Is a pop-up store? A community store? So it's really a challenge. So what it's really interesting. It's that the more data you have about what is happening in the store, and the better you can mitigate risk, you can know better how the consumer, the visitors is doing experience within the store, whatever the store it is. Of course, we can talk about fast food or bar or whatever retail, fashion retail. So in this video, you can see that today with the most advanced the visual analytic techniques, you can go through the people flow movement, and you can analyze how people are behaving actually. So it's how they engage with your product, how they move in your store, which in general is the behavior of the customer within a specific area of the store. And as well, specifically in a kind of CPG, so in fast-moving consumer good environment like a supermarket, you can even know if the customer is interacting with your product, and how many engagement fact events are happening during a day or during a specific time. And in this way, you can get more insight about your potential customer. The challenge and the new trends in point of sale analytics is that you can know whatever about what is happening in your store. You know how many people enter in your store, if they are male, female, which age they are, if they are. You can even recognize if a person is a VIP or not. Of course, if they give you the consent of use biometric data. But this is for different purpose, because if you know who is your customer and how your customer act during the purchase action, that usually when the customer is online, of course you don't know, of course you have some cookies, you can get the cookies, or you can know some information about demographics, but you basically don't know nothing about the behavior of the customer. In this case, in the real world, in the offline world, in the brick and mortar, you can know whatever about how the people engage with your product or with the product of your competition, because you know how much time they spend in front of the shelf, how much time they engage with a specific product category, or even if they just look a product for specific time and then they abandon, they leave the shelf without buying anything. So it's the information that you can get from the physical world are really meaningful and a lot, and can be very useful for making some insight when you plan to launch a new product on the market, or you plan to position a new product on the shelf, because if you know really who is your target, or how your target behave, of course the product positioning and product placement will be much more easier. A real life experience within a store that maybe is closed because of the post-pandemic, but you can enrich this visualization with the multimedia, with the online shop feature, and but the most important thing is that you can collect a lot of data from the visitor experience here.
The wine, usually, I mean, in traditional time, we can buy wine at supermarket, we can buy wine and know how to wine shop. And what happened during COVID quarantine? The problem was not that customer doesn't want to drink wine anymore or to have social experiences. is that many of these channels were not available anymore. So we see an increase of selling in a supermarket or online because it's what we have available in general. And we have a decrease in wine shop, winery, except from what they can deal through online and supermarket. So what about customer experiences? They still want to share experience with others. So what we see is that there were new behaviors. So I think that everybody of us has experienced online party when we have aperitivo or dinner, drinking wine to friends, thanks to online platform. Everybody, also people that have never used before, experience home delivery. And some of us also online lessons. So there was also the movement on, I mean, what you can assess in terms of know-how also online. And so what to do in this unpredictable scenario, I put together some suggestions. So if we think to supermarket where people have short attention and go for value for money, basically, you have to get noticed. So you have to work on the product, maybe extra message as a label on the wine, special packaging. The extra message can be related to the quality of wine, but also a message now, let's say, let's drink together because we are all happy that we are out of this pandemic. So something that is really personal and really different and refer to the period. So wine shop are usually very, very small and crowded of product everywhere. So it's really important to improve the digital platform connected to them. What about winery? Now that they open again, what they experience is a different kind of tourist. So you can also here to promote some exclusive experiences, such as wine tasting for two or a restaurant for two in the field. Also, you can create synergy. Usually, I mean, the panorama of a winery is related to lifestyle. So you can relate with art, design, fashion. So host some of these events. Last suggestion for winery, I mean, if you can't host foreign tourists, you can maybe create a partnership with I mean, with some local dealers and organize, let's say, a wine tour. And what about online? I mean, online is everything. So it's a really big world. One choice is if you go directly or through a delivery platform for the company who are not already in the market. Now, especially in the field of wine, looking in the web and what is a little bit different from what is the standard is, okay, get notice. So I see, for example, this wine box, they don't sell a bottle of wine, but a glass of wine in these peculiar vials that obviously is very trendy for the female public, as you can see also for the color. So it's to find a different way to get noticed and also maybe to target to different kind of customers or give emotion. So I see some mystery box so you can pick up what you like and also make it social. One of the nicest things I've seen is this virtual wine tasting by Napa Valley. And so they provide people the wine at home and they create a Zoom with all the other people tasting wine at the same time and also with the sommelier explaining the quality of wine.